So the goal was to go out and photograph as many sharks as you possibly could?
Yes. So from fear to fascination is like usually like the saying that you get in the shark world, and it all comes from knowledge. Knowledge is the antidote to fear. I started off doing like dyslexia and ADHD research, and then like now I'm on like a Netflix show for sharks. It's like you can just keep reinventing yourself. It's really just a question of like how much are you gonna commit to those things. From doing these 2 posts a week of me editing my underwater photos, I've gotten 15,000 followers.
Awesome.
In the past 2 months. Who cares what other people are thinking? Like in the grand scheme of things, like if you want to change things up, you change things up. And also like you can get known for other things. It's just belief in yourself at the end of the day. Like that's not necessarily something that you can teach, but it's something that you prove to yourself by doing things. Like as long as I don't fall out of love with something, I will make it happen.
Today I sit down with Aliah Banchik, a marine biologist and underwater photographer from New York who's turned a fear of sharks into a fascination that shaped her work and career. In this episode, we talk about how her work with sharks led her onto a Netflix series called All of the Sharks, where she was in a competition to literally search and photograph as many sharks as she could find. We also get into her TED Talk on dyslexia and ADHD, and how sharing her photo editing process online unexpectedly grew her audience, and how that led to creating an official tutorial with Adobe. And after all that, what I found is that this conversation is really about identity. It's about not being afraid to try new things and to follow things that genuinely call to you. So if you're a creative that's ever wanted to go in a new direction but hesitated to follow through, then this one's definitely for you. So let's get into it. I've got a ton of questions. You've done a lot. I was going through and I'm like, I could ask her a million questions and this could go for hours. So the hardest part was like trying to narrow it down to like, how do I get the best bits out of it?
Okay, good luck. So ADHD is going to run rampant during this conversation.
We'll see. And I was trying to go back. I was like, at what point should I start this? And I thought this might be a good place to start. Can you tell me the story of how you made friends with Brock?
Brock?
The nurse shark.
What? Wow, you did your research. I'm like, what the actual heck? Oh my gosh. Brock is a great nurse shark from the aquarium in New Orleans where I went to school.
Yes.
That's so funny. Yeah, so I went to Tulane University in New Orleans, which was really fun. Have you been to New Orleans yet?
No, not yet. It's on the list.
That's definitely, next time you do your America trip, definitely on the list. And yeah, I was studying psychology at the time, but I was just like weirdly into sharks at the same time. And I found out that there was an aquarium. I found out that they had a volunteer program, so I volunteered. And the original job that I was given as the volunteer was just tell people where the toilets are. Like, stand at the front, like, look at the tickets.
You just wanted to be there.
Yeah, I just wanted to be there. But also I was like, I'm going to the Shark Tank. So I like immediately was like, yeah, toilets are over there. And then I like did a whole loop of the thing pretending I was like checking things that were important. And then ended up at the Shark Tank and was just waiting for people to ask me a question. And that's when I found Brock. We made eye contact. He had a really big hunchback. Sometimes gray nurse sharks can get scoliosis.
Oh, wow.
In their backs.
Oh.
So they actually kind of like, you know.
That's not cool.
No, but he made it look good.
Okay.
Yeah, he made it look good. Okay. And I just...
Is it from the slithering?
I'm not sure. And it had the slithering.
Is that, what do you call that? Yeah.
The swimming. The swimming. Yeah. But I heard it. Yeah. I don't know. It happens in captivity and in the wild as well. Yep. So I think it's just a genetic thing. Get unlucky at birth. Get kind of like crunched. I don't know.
Where did this fascination for sharks come from?
So I grew up in New York City, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah. So I actually didn't really have too much access to the ocean.
I was going to say, not many sharks around there, right?
There actually are a lot of sharks in
the ocean around there.
Yeah. So actually, I think one of the great white shark nursery grounds, like one of the only known ones, is in the northeast of the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah, which more reason why I was like not going in the water. But they scared the crap out of me. I was terrified of sharks and like I was terrified of the ocean in general,
Yeah.
and it was mainly because of sharks.
Growing up?
Growing up, yeah. Like even in like I wouldn't even go into pools sometimes.
Really?
Because I was like, there's a shark. Yeah. So I was really scared of sharks actually, and it didn't like come from watching anything. I never saw Jaws.
Okay.
Nothing. I just was like, no,
Just
water.
everyone else is scared of them, so I should be too.
Yeah, but the more and more I learned about the sharks and like their behavior and like why they do things and like just their evolutionary history, which is freaking sick, I just realized how I was just so wrong about so many things.
Yeah.
And I would actually test that often because we had a place in South Beach in Miami, and I would never go past my ankles in the water there. But
Wow.
as I was learning about all these things with sharks, I would just kind of test it and go further and further because I'm like, okay, well, I technically learned that that humans are not on the menu. I technically learned that the kind of sharks I'm scared of cannot exist in 3 feet of water, you know?
Yes.
And I just kept going and testing it, and then ultimately ended up underwater on purpose, scuba diving with oxygen. And yeah, look at us now.
Look at us now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So from fear to fascination is like usually like the saying that you get in the shark world, and it all comes from knowledge. Knowledge is the antidote to fear.
Yes.
In all areas.
I think so too. While you were saying all that, what came to mind for me was like fear of flying planes.
Oh yeah.
And you're right. The more I understood it,
Totally.
the less fear I had.
That's so true.
I'd hear the pilots talk about like how turbulence is just common.
Yeah.
And like flights don't like crash because of turbulence.
Right.
Ever. And then I started thinking about, I was like, he's right. Like you never hear a plane say, oh, there was too much turbulence and it just crashed.
That's so true.
And then I started doing the math also. Because when you're up in a plane and it's really turbulent, you think you're going down.
100%.
Every time.
Oh my gosh.
But then I thought, I remember I was flying to, it was either Melbourne or the Gold Coast. And then I thought, imagine how many flights there have been from Sydney to Gold Coast. There's like 5 in a day.
Oh, really?
There's heaps, right?
Okay.
But there's multiple in one day, every day, since who knows how long, like 50 years, 100
Yeah,
years.
you're so right.
And none of them, like 0, have crashed.
That's
so that's
true.
like hundreds of thousands of flights.
That's right.
And you think that the one that you're on that has a little bit of turbulence is going to go down. So I did the math.
That's the same thing.
And I was like, mathematically, this is not going down.
Mathematically, that is the same kind of thing that you could think about with sharks and shark incidences.
Yes, exactly.
But it just feels different. I feel like it's easier to convince yourself, like in a plane, like the maths of that not happening, like the probability of that happening being so small.
Yeah.
But then for whatever reason with sharks, like that, I feel like people are just desensitized to the statistic that like, oh, like on average, like 10 humans are like fatally bitten by sharks throughout the year. It's like, okay, but that's still 10? And like the news like hypes it up so much where you feel like that could have been me.
Totally.
Like that's reason enough to not get in the water.
You're right. Every time there's one, it's on the news for days. And it's a really big deal.
It is. And I mean, it is a really big deal. Like
it is a really big deal.
It is
Yeah, you're
definitely
right.
like traumatic.
But it triggers a lot of fear in people that probably
are not based in like the actual numbers.
Yes.
And oftentimes there are some times that are absolute freak incidences, but there's also number of times where the situation potentially could have been avoided, or like the conditions clearly were not safe to be in the water. Like there's a lot of risk management that goes into like being a safe diver, being a safe swimmer, being a safe surfer.
Yes.
And not putting blame on anybody for that, because nature is wild.
Yep.
But yeah, there's just unlucky times, but there's also things that you can mitigate. Did you grow up like any type of fear around sharks, or like what was the mentality around your area?
Yeah, well, I grew up I love the beach.
Yeah.
Love the beach. But if I saw a shark, I'd be terrified.
Of course.
I always, like the rule for me is like I always have to make sure someone is further out than me.
That's a great rule.
That's a great rule.
Yeah, I
that's
stand by that
like
rule.
I'm sacrificing the last guy. And that makes me feel safe. But if I was the last guy, I'd be thinking something's going to take me at any second, and I have this. I don't know what's down there. I can't see. Yeah, terrified. I don't think I could do it. So there is definitely fear.
Yeah, and I think that's healthy. Like I'm definitely would never advocate for being like, you shouldn't be afraid of sharks. I would say that like a healthy fear, I would like to change that title to respect. Like, cause you can be aware of like what they're able to do, like their capabilities and whatnot, but that doesn't need to like and that should actually alter your behavior in some capacity. Like,
Yep.
you shouldn't be going out when it's, like, rainy, murky, like, dawn, dusk, like, no one else is in the water. Like, that's not a great time to be going out. So I think that healthy respect, healthy fear should alter your behavior, but it shouldn't make you, like, it shouldn't alter your behavior in a way that's completely unrealistic. Like, it's not like, I'm never going in the ocean because there's sharks.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous. You're missing out on a lot.
Totally. And when did the cameras start coming out? When did you start deciding to actually try to capture these things?
I think it was 2020 then when I started taking pictures. Like, I just started with a GoPro, like, and I didn't even start taking pictures, to be honest. Like, I was out there panning on video and then coming home and screenshotting the frames that I liked the best. I'm like, I'm so good. And honestly, like, the GoPros, like, with some of the newer ones, like, the stills that you can take from a video are insane. Yeah. They're insane.
You're right. So I've done that before, and people don't know the difference.
People don't know the difference. I actually blew one up into, like, this huge poster, and, like, it's literally above my bed. It's like the size of my bed frame, and it's crystal clear.
There's a screenshot.
Yeah, it's a screenshot of a video.
That's great.
Yeah, insane. But I started this company. It's like a digital, like, graphic design based ocean conservation group called Naked for Nature. As a product of, like, taking some of these screenshots and also just, like, playing around on my iPad. It was Earth Day, first of all. The day that I started this was Earth Day, so I was just like, it was just meant to be. But I was, like, drawing on my iPad. I was drawing, like, outlines. I was pretty much tracing pictures of, like, sexy females, you know, like, just, like, doing that and then putting my underwater photography inside their silhouette. And I was like, that's
pretty creative.
Pretty sick. And also pretty replicable. Like, I could be turning anybody into emblems of ocean conservation. So if somebody sends me a picture, like, I can take their silhouette and put some type of, like, beautiful ocean picture inside of it that I've taken and then have, like, a strong conservation message tied with it.
Yes.
And hopefully, attract a new audience to care about ocean conservation, which is kind of like the issue of ocean conservation. Only people who care about it already are listening to it and engaging with it. But yeah, that's kind of where the underwater photography started. It was like to fill that niche of, like, oh, I actually have some people ordering, like, commissions. I need to go get more pictures. So started trying to take more pictures. And then eventually, you know, I didn't feel like I was getting the detail I wanted for some of the textures. Like, corals have, like, the coolest texture.
Yes.
And I wasn't really able to capture that with GoPros, but I wanted that as, like, a pattern inside, like, a silhouette. Yep. So I was like, okay, I feel like it's time to get a real camera.
Nice.
Yeah. And luckily, I didn't have to do that. My parents got me it as a graduation gift from high school a few years later. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you just started enjoying...
from college.
From college. And you enjoyed the creative aspect of it?
Yeah. So I've always been an artist. Like, that's probably been, like, the main... I would say an artist and an athlete would always have been, like, the two things that I would have explained myself as, described myself as. Yeah, because, like, school, I was not good at school. Like, I have dyslexia and ADHD. I struggled so much in it, and I was a really good artist and athlete. That's it. Painting and drawing, like hand drawing, all of that stuff was, like, my favorite thing. And so I've always enjoyed the creative aspect. Actually, I just enjoyed creativity, period. Like, no aspect. Just that's the only part I enjoyed. Full stop. And so, yeah, the drawing kind of came naturally. The photography was a bit different because it didn't feel like a creative thing at first. Honestly, it has just recently starting to feel like a creative
because
thing.
It's so technical?
Exactly. It felt more technical. It felt like... it felt more like exploration because it was like how many people are in the water, like, and like taking like visual grabs of what they're seeing and bring it to the surface and to the general public. So to me, it felt more like a mission. Like, I was like, I had a job to do, and like it was like photojournalism almost. Like, there was no artistic aspect of it. It was just like documenting, you know?
Yeah, that's so interesting.
But like recently, I feel like with like editing in Lightroom and stuff, like in the past probably 5 years, I've gotten really proficient with Lightroom editing. Like, that is literally like the most creative, fun activity that I like to do when I'm on land. So. Because
with the editing, you can bring out your own like creative style and
it's so powerful. I get a lot of shit sometimes on Instagram with people are like, but at what point? One person was like, but aren't you kind of lying though? Or like, at what point is this AI generated art? And I'm like, okay, fair if people want to like ask those questions.
Yep.
First of all, not the most constructive way to ask those questions. Happy to have a conversation, but like ask it like a fucking human. Yeah, so I always respond to them and it's like, okay, yeah, I showed the before and after and they look pretty different, but I'm not like adding unicorns and like random shit that's not
Yes,
there.
of course.
What I'm doing is enhancing it to create emotion. Like
Yes.
that's the goal of my underwater photography. Like my goal isn't to be like scientific grade textbook illustrations of like, this is a species. Like, you know, it's
Yep.
not supposed to be like one-to-one.
Yes.
But it is supposed to enhance the truths that are there.
Yes.
Like there's, you know, do you know what blue gropers are?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's the state fish. Come on.
You're going to be
from
so
Sydney.
disappointed in me.
I'm like,
this conversation.
oh my gosh, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
We'll talk
okay.
about it later. I'll show you a picture later. But it's like this beautiful blue fish.
Yep.
And it's like literally like the color of your hat, like stunning blue.
Yeah, wow.
And in my photo, I really enhanced that because
Yep.
that's what I wanted to stand out. But that's
Yes.
what it is in real life. Like it actually is that blue. And just kind of leaving it as like this muted color didn't do anything for people to connect with the picture. They're like, oh, it's a blue groper. Or for you, you'd be like, oh, that's a fish. But when I did do that enhancement and then I darken the background and then
Yeah.
I make it like so focal, it feels
Yes.
like it could be fine art. So it could cater to people who actually care about fine art and they'd be
Yep.
like, wow, that's just pretty on that alone. Or it just creates like this sense of wonder and curiosity and like
Yes.
that exists in the natural world. I want to go see more of those. Like,
Yes.
so that's the point of my photography. It's not to be like, super like scientific grade accurate stuff, but it's also not misleading. It's just
Of course.
enhanced to create emotion and connectivity ultimately.
Yeah. But I think especially with underwater photography, like this would be a thing because when you're down there, it's so dark.
It's dark. It's like the lighting is weird. Nothing like there's particles in the
Yep.
water. Yeah.
Exactly. I think so too. So you started like getting into photography. Did it ever feel like a distraction from doing your science work?
No, I don't think so. That's a good question though. I feel like it's always enhanced it. I think this is what we were talking about earlier a little bit, but like I feel like I like to have multiple options open
Yes.
in case one goes to shit. Probably should have asked if I
Yes.
could curse beforehand. Am I fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, that's now
Too
the
late
third
now,
time.
buddy.
We're deep into this. Whoops. But yeah, I feel like I like having multiple options available in case I like eat shit in one of them.
Yep.
It's like, oh well, that wasn't my only thing. Like I'm also really good at this.
Totally. But do you feel like sometimes when I do certain things, while I'm doing something, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I probably should be doing the other thing.
100%.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I get it. I feel like it's a distraction more than it is.
I feel like it's a distraction, but it's also like the thing that motivates me to do things. Like, just to dip into neuroscience for a second, ADHD is like essentially a deficit of dopamine, which is the neurotransmitter that's kind of responsible in your prefrontal cortex for like planning, executive function, like motivation, doing things, right? Like that's like the doing things neurotransmitter.
Yeah.
And like having a reduced effect of that in like the ADHD brain is why we're often like not super good at like long-term planning or like staying motivated or even getting motivated to then do something. You can put off doing your laundry forever until it becomes urgent and you're like, oh, I have no more underwear left. And
Gotta do it now.
then you get flooded with dopamine because urgency like creates that motivation. It releases those neurotransmitters and it actually lets you like do the things that people without ADHD like can just do sometimes. And so, yes, that was like the quick little ADHD sidetrack. But also the other thing that releases the dopamine is like passion. Like if you're actually passionate about something, and that's why so many creatives actually have ADHD. It's just because like if they're passionate about something, that is the thing that will like, keep them going and doing that thing.
Yeah.
And they tend to be very creative and artistic people. So yeah, they end up in the creative field a lot. But I use that to an advantage like sometimes, and this is where it all loops back to the question you just asked me, which was like, do I get distracted? And I call it productive procrastination.
Yeah, this is good.
You're like, I like this.
I like where this is going.
Where I like know I have like things that are time sensitive that like need to get done, but my brain's like not, it does, like the dopamine's not there. This is what I'm imagining. Like the dopamine's not there. Like I just like can't motivate myself to do that. But if I let myself like fall into this creative energy and do like the side project that is like still productive. It's not like I'm like on my phone. It's like I'm editing something I'm really motivated about. It like floods my brain with that dopamine because I'm working in my passion, and then it kind of gives me the motivation to like loop it back to like the thing that I've been putting off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They work synergistically. Sometimes it's the complete freaking opposite.
So you're doing something else, but you still feel productive because you're doing something.
Exactly. That's also important.
That's also important. Yeah. I think that way
needs to get done too.
Yes. And does that allow you to kind of, it's almost like doing something and giving yourself permission to not feel guilty about not doing the other thing.
Yeah. That's like the idea of it, like in hindsight, like in the moment.
Because some people feel like there are times I may do something, say it's go off and do a photo shoot because I just want to do it. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, yes.
And I don't get to enjoy it as much because I feel guilty that I probably should be doing something else.
Exactly.
And I think that's not a good mind state to be in.
It's a hard one to break,
because you're not allowing yourself to enjoy it. So with you, like you could be doing the science thing, but you're out like shooting and making silhouettes of people.
And I also believe too that like those things work synergistically. Like my
this
brain
is what you've done really well. From looking at what you've done, like everything that you do, all the creative work that you do, all the little side projects that you do, you tie it back to the one thing, which I think is really impressive.
What's the one thing? Please tell me. I don't know.
You're making more people aware of the things that you care about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like that.
Well,
I think that's true.
I went through a lot of your work.
A
mission of yours is to show people that there are many different paths into this space.
Aww.
Because there are so many ways to make an impact, and you don't have to be a researcher to be part of marine science.
True.
And
that.
This was in one of your captions, right?
Yeah.
But it's true, like you're using your creativity to show people like you can still care about, like you don't have to be a scientist to care about this.
Absolutely not.
You know, and also through your creative work, you're making people more aware and more educated about things that they usually probably wouldn't have. Like a photographer will then become more educated about the space by following you and your creative work, rather than what you were saying earlier, like the only people that care about this are the people that are just in this world. When really a lot of these issues like more people should care about it. They just don't.
100%. And
you're creating like pathways for people to understand it a little bit more through your creative work rather than the science work.
That's 100% like on the money.
And it's with everything that you've done. I looked at, like, we'll get into it too, like you did the Netflix show. Again, it's like a really creative piece. It's a whole Netflix show that you participate in, but it still ties back to what you love and showing people this side of the world that we don't really understand.
Yeah. Or that at least isn't like in our day-to-day thoughts for the majority of people. Like definitely wasn't New York.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I saw that you actually even trained for this.
I
saw you underwater training with your buddies. Like, how long can you hold your breath?
Static, almost 4 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's like not even that impressive. Like I say that like fully.
That's such a long time.
Most people can do that.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, it's really cool. And honestly, like I recommend this to everybody, like ocean person or not, but like it's just like the deepest form of meditation. It's so beautiful. But like when I remember the first time I was in that course, we started and the instructor was like, okay, he hasn't taught us anything yet. And he's like, I want everybody to just hold your breath for as long as you can. Damn. And then just raise your hand when you're out.
Yep.
And like, I think the longest person in the class was like 45 seconds.
Yeah, I was
at 30 and I was like,
I don't think I could do 30.
I'm never going to make it. Like, that's it. But the course teaches you really cool things about your body. Like when you feel the urge to breathe, like let's say you take a huge breath in and then you feel the urge to breathe, that's not because you like don't have enough oxygen in your body. It's because you're having a buildup of CO2, which is the thing that tells you to like, it's a byproduct and it wants to get out of your body. But that discomfort is not detrimental. Are you holding your breath right now?
Oh, yeah. I was just trying.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast like that shit.
I took a big breath in. I'm like, how long can I hold this for?
You're just like,
I just pass out. Yes, keep going. Yeah, so you can move, you can push past that.
Yeah, like it's an uncomfortable thing to be like, and you even have the contractions like,
Yeah.
where you feel like that's your body grasping for oxygen, but that's a story you're telling yourself. That's not what's actually happening in reality.
Okay.
You just have a CO2 buildup, which is totally natural, and you can push against that, like, you know, to a certain point. You just don't want to push like too far, but like the average Joe, like me, like I can push as hard as I can and still be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like the 4 minutes is like face down in the pool, like not moving, you're not burning any oxygen, you know, whatever you put into your body, like essentially aside from your heart beating, like you're not burning anything.
Yep.
So 4 minutes is like that's like the minimum for the instructor to get an instructor certification. But in this course, the first one I did, the minimum passing to hold your breath was like 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
And everybody, it's accessible.
Everyone did it?
Like everybody got it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It sounds like a meditation.
It is literally like the deepest form of meditation.
Yep. And I feel like there's a lot that you need to, compared to other types of creativity. Like I could pick up a camera and just start shooting now in the gym. But to do underwater photography, there's a lot, like you have to go through this, plus understanding way more technically cameras, because you don't have control over lighting and visibility, and you need to learn about underwater housing units. There's so much.
Honestly.
The barrier to entry is way further than it is just grabbing a camera and like, I can just make, take some videos with my phone right now.
Yeah.
So like, do you feel like that holds a lot of people back from like going into this type of creativity?
I do. Like,
For
I'm going to
sure,
put
right?
like the financial bit of that aside.
Yeah, super
like,
expensive too, right?
So
like I'm kind of want to get to like, what's like say someone wanted to try. Because a lot of the times you're like, I don't even know if I'm going to like this thing. So
Yes.
why would I go through like all these expenses and all this training and then end up not liking it?
Right.
Like what's a very easy way for someone to start doing this type of thing?
Well, definitely like being comfortable in the water.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you necessarily need to like start with like land photography and then like prove yourself and then work your way. And like I didn't really do it that way.
Yep.
So I just want to say like you want to make sure that you're comfortable in the water.
Yeah.
And honestly, underwater photography can be in a pool too. Like my good friend and colleague who works here, Vanessa Torres Mucho, she does insane like pool shoots.
That's
like
cool.
like fashion shoots or maternity shoots.
Underwater.
Underwater in
That's
a pool.
great. Yeah.
Where the visibility is perfect.
Yes.
You're safe and like, like conditions are not like, you don't have to worry about conditions. You're in a pool.
Yep.
So maybe that's a megaplace to start. Like if you can grab like some type of GoPro or even a phone case, like phones now, are you kidding me?
Yes.
It's like 45 megapixel
You can get
cameras.
cases for your phone.
Yeah.
Where you can put them underwater.
Yeah, you can even like, there's like the Ziploc
That's
bag
cool.
from
Yep.
Temu. Like I wouldn't go be like diving with that one, but like
Yep.
that one's fine for snorkeling. And then for actually like, if you wanted to go under at depth, you obviously want something that's a little bit more rigid because like pressure in your phone and not, not compatible.
Yep.
There's cases that you can get if you don't want to buy a camera. Like your phone's amazing. Honestly.
Yeah, totally.
And so, I would just make sure that you're very comfortable in the water because it will be twice as complicated when you're trying to work a camera and learn how to swim at the same time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Just
I
get that
agree.
one nailed down first. But honestly, like, there's so much information out there
Heaps.
about like, oh, like you need this camera and like this is the nicest underwater housing and anything. It's like I didn't know any of this when I was trying to get into it.
You
I
were
remember
taking screenshots.
I was taking screenshots. But then when I was like, oh, I want to get a camera, like it's time. I was like, okay, I obviously have to do some research. But I was just overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know what any of this stuff means. I just found that I had a friend who was an underwater photographer. I was like, yo, what camera do you have? She told me this one that is like literally, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford it. So I was like, cool. That's the only thing that I've heard of so far. So like what's the worst that could happen? I just called one of the camera shops. Like in Florida, we had an underwater photography like kind of store. And there's one here. There's like DigiDirect. There's also Aquatic Imaging Australia, which is Vanessa.
You're right.
And like those people are so happy to help.
They are.
Like if you're like, hey, I have a budget.
Yes.
I have like $2,000.
Yep.
What's the nicest camera that I can get for what I'm interested in doing? Which is, I don't know, megafauna. Like, do you want to shoot big fish?
Yep.
Do you want to shoot like those tiny little nudibranchs? Like, you could just have a chat with these people, and they're not gonna like try and be. They're not like used car salesmen. They're like they genuinely want you to like get gear that you like.
You're so right. I spent I've never spoken about that. My first year, maybe 2 years, almost everything I learned was from the guys at DigiDirect at Bondi.
Yeah, they
I
rock.
would just walk in and be like, guys, this is what I need to shoot. Like, this is the job. Like, what do I need? Like, I wouldn't even know. I'm like,
No.
what mic do I need? What lights do I need? And they just help you.
And like that's the thing. I feel like you gotta
Yeah.
take the ego out of it. I
Yep.
feel like with media and like
Yes.
photography, it's like so like muchísimo sometimes, and it's like I'm supposed to know all these things. Oh,
Yeah,
what camera
yeah,
are
yeah.
you shooting with? Oh, I have this one. It shouldn't just be like you're expected to know everything from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be ridiculous. You also haven't experienced it.
Yes.
So like the first camera I got, I literally was like, hey, this is the budget. Like, what camera can I
Yep,
get? And they're like,
exactly.
this is the one. And then I was like, I shoot with this camera. Like, you know, whatever. People ask me all these questions, and I'm like, why? It's because it was recommended to me.
Yep.
Like, they told me to get this one. They knew what they were talking about, and
Yep.
I've had no issues with it. I like it.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
Mm.
Like, for underwater photography
good.
specifically, there's two pools of people. LOL, pun intended. One of them had to. One of them is like, oh, like I'm in the ocean because that's my happy place, and like
Yep.
I don't want to be working. Like I want to be 100% present.
Yeah.
No camera. Okay, that's part one. Part two, there's probably another pool, but like I'm in this one where it's just like I actually do really well when I have a mission. Like when I have something in my hands and like a job to do underwater, and it also might be coming back to the ADHD because it's like, yeah, I can be like swimming and like looking around, but my brain's a million other places. But if I have a camera in my hand and I'm like having to like, you know, get the right composition and like really focus on like the one fish that I'm trying to photograph or something like that, then I'm so much more present.
Yes.
I think that's like the happy medium for me.
Yes. Finding a balance. And it gives
Yeah.
you a bit more purpose, allows you to be more present.
Exactly.
I totally get that.
And you have Lightroom for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's to edit it.
Yeah.
To make it look
I love
better.
that whole process as well. Does it make you go out more
Yeah,
in
totally.
the ocean? I heard someone else say that about, what was I? I think I was watching like a YouTube video, and he went on a road trip with his buddies, and he was saying like, all of us having cameras made us wake up at 5 a.m. to go catch
100%.
that sunset. They're like, without the
100%.
cameras, we would have slept in. Like, so there is like that aspect of it too. It's like
So
you're
true.
going to force yourself to go out into the ocean way more. You're going to go and do the morning sunrise.
If somebody's like, there's orcas
It gives you a
right now,
purpose.
I'm like,
yep, let's go.
like I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, and I wouldn't like. Sometimes I don't want to go in the water. Sometimes it's like really cold in the middle of winter, and I don't want to go in the water. But if there's some crazy thing happening, or I don't know, like I honestly don't know. You don't know until you get in the water a lot of the time, though, which
Exactly.
is also kind of hard.
You're right. But the more you do it, also, the more you learn, right? Because
So
you're always
true.
going to experience something different. And a lot of the times it is that. I assume you have like a way better understanding of the ocean now than when you started.
Yeah.
Because there are, I've seen you talk about certain situations. You said there was a time you went out to shoot dolphins, and the visibility was poor, so you had to make dolphin noises so that they would know where you were. Did it work?
Yeah, it did. That was in Kaikoura in New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like this little part of, I think it's the North Island. Maybe it's the top of the South. Oh no, I don't know. But there's like this mega pod of dusky dolphins that are there like all the
Okay.
time, and yeah, you can do tours there. So like that wasn't a sketchy situation because like it was like a tour that they run and you go and snorkel with them. They did see killer whales the day before,
Damn.
and I would have loved to see them, but after I was in the water I realized I would never have seen them because I
Yep.
couldn't even see my hand.
Yeah. True.
The visibility was awful that day. So yeah, we literally had to like,
Damn.
the guides told us, they're like, they actually love it when you make noise. They'll come and like play with you.
Yeah.
And they fully did. Like I was like, like screaming through my snorkel. I was like, and it worked. They would come out of nowhere and be like right in front of your face, like doing the
Wow.
craziest
That was
stuff.
a great dolphin noise.
Thank you so much. I've had practice. I also grew up on SpongeBob, so which I just learned that, you know, that dolphin noise that they play in SpongeBob is actually a kookaburra.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have not known.
Me either. Yeah. So
There you go.
that's crazy. Like that's crazy to me. But yeah, that was not a good visibility day, but we also had paid for it, and I also brought my camera, which weighs like 6 kilos, like my whole camera setup.
Wow, I've seen your camera
carried
setup.
that with me.
Yep.
Throughout the entire 2-week journey in New Zealand.
Wow.
Just to go on this dive. I was like, I'm going on this dive no matter what. Like, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Totally. I've seen that camera setup. It kind of goes back to like we were talking about earlier. Like I've seen some of these setups that bring lights down there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, light is crazy underwater.
Yeah.
Like,
and you attach
colors.
lights to these.
Yeah, the arms. It
To
kind
the
of looks like a
arms?
giant spider crab.
Yeah, so that you can see down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like it doesn't get so dark where you can't see unless you go on a night dive. And then it's like really dark, obviously. But it's actually to bring back color. So
Yeah, exactly.
little physics for everyone.
Yeah.
If you look at the visible light spectrum, where it's just like kind of like the rainbow that our human eyes are able to actually see and process, there's different wavelengths. And so the like warmer tones like yellows and oranges and reds and pinks, those actually have the longest wavelengths. And the blues and the purples, whatever, those have the shortest wavelengths or the highest frequencies.
Okay.
And so when you look at light going through water, the ones with the highest frequencies, the shortest wavelengths like this,
Yep.
those are the ones that can penetrate the deepest.
Okay.
But the longer wavelengths, I'm just gonna stick with it. The longer wavelengths, those get lost first, and they get like absorbed by the water.
Wow.
So when you go, like, you can see a bunch of these things on YouTube, or even do it underwater. I've done it, and it's actually pretty cool. You bring like a rainbow with you, start from the top, and just watch it as you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And once you get to like 30 meters, like, you only see purple, blue, and gray.
Wow.
Those like purple, blue,
They
greens,
go
and
the
grays.
furthest.
Yeah, those are the furthest, and that's why when you take pictures underwater, a lot of them they look like green or blue.
Yep.
And it's because you lose those warmer wavelengths super quick in the water
Yes.
column, and that's where lights and strobes and video lights, those come in. It's not necessarily to like light up the underwater world. It's actually to restore the warm tones.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
That's so interesting. True. And this is where editing will also play a part.
100%.
As well, like bringing back what it actually looks like.
See, and I'm like a minimalist shooter, I would say. Like, you could shoot on scuba and you could shoot free diving, like holding your breath and then dipping down. I prefer free diving. Like, I like to not have a
Really?
tank. Yeah, it's just, well, one, the bubbles scare away fish, like when you breathe.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so they actually will like not come close to you,
Yep.
but when you're
Would the
holding
lights
your
do
breath.
the same thing?
I don't know. I think it depends on the species, but like
Yep.
sometimes they just do not care.
Yep.
But I don't even use lights. Like, I know that the color theory of it is like the lights are there to add the warm tones back in. So if I don't bring lights, I'm missing those warm tones. If I go into Lightroom later, I
Yep.
can put those back in.
Yep.
And that is like, that works 98% of the time. And I like it because I like free diving with those freaking lights.
Yeah.
Like, they come up on like these arms
Yeah,
so
they're
that you
huge.
can actually angle them to like mimic wherever the sun is naturally coming from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're huge and already diving with like the huge camera that
Yep.
floats, by the way. It is 6
Oh,
kilos
wow.
on surface, but it floats and you have to like take it with you underwater.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's so interesting. All of that. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
like the light theory and like color theory of it all.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
So much.
I've seen you take like real close-up photos of these sharks.
Yes.
Like real close.
Yeah.
Like these things were winking at you.
They were. It's that nictitating membrane.
Yeah, and we've gotten to the point where there's just the fear's gone.
I see sharks when I want to see sharks. I don't think I would be super happy to see a shark if I'm surfing. You know, like, it's all about context. Like, if I'm not expecting to see a shark and then I see a shark where I don't feel like I'm safe, like, I don't feel like, oh, my life's in danger, but it's just like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, so there's the initial, like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what was that? I want to see what it is. So it's like the fear and fascination in the same bit, where you're like,
Yes.
holy crap, oh, wait, it's a shark.
And it's more
Yeah.
fascination for you than it is fear.
Yeah,
at this point,
100%.
obviously.
Because I know I'm not going to ever be in the water in situations where I feel like it would be inviting a sketchy situation to happen. So I feel safe. Yeah.
You're in a safe environment whenever you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I've like done like bull shark dives in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, like 30 plus bull sharks.
You-
Tiger
well,
sharks.
you've done a whole TV show looking for sharks.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
So you're on a Netflix TV show that its sole purpose was to go out and look for sharks specifically.
Yes. And raise.
And raise,
And
yes.
raise.
Which I learned from your content are also sharks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which is great. Like, I was like, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, I learned so much.
That makes me so happy to hear.
Yeah, that makes you, and I was like,
Yay.
I did not know that.
Yay.
So you got into this. You're more of a stingray expert. Like that's your expertise, I would say.
That's like my research area.
That's your research area. And I did not know that they were, what would you call them? A cousin of the shark?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, that they're in explain it for me. Like they are also. Can I say an X-ray? A stingray is a shark.
You can say. I mean, like evolutionarily speaking, like they're two separate animals, but like anatomically speaking, they are like essentially the same. It's just that the stingray is just a compressed version of a shark, essentially. But I mean, going back in evolutionary history, 450 million years ago, sharks entered the fossil record, just being epic and amazing as they are. And then, as time went on and like new environments were being kind of explored by sharks, there was some environments that were like very shallow where there wasn't too much food competition, and like the sharks that were like able to like squeeze their way in there like had access to more things, and they kind of just prevailed a little bit, and so they kind of branched off 150 million years ago, and that's where we see stingrays, or 250 million years ago, and that's where we see rays and like flattened body morphologies start to emerge and like kind of inhabit these shallower areas that are inaccessible to larger bodied sharks.
Wow.
And so they're both made out of cartilage, like they don't have any bones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact. Sharks and rays made out of cartilage, like your nose.
Okay.
So many
No
other
bones.
parts. Yeah, no bones. I mean, they have like vertebral columns, but it's really interesting because we actually don't ever find really fossils of sharks.
Wow.
Because the cartilage disintegrates. But we really only see the jaws and like the teeth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know.
That's so cool.
Like nature just doing the most. And I don't even know where I was going with that.
We were talking about the show.
Oh, we got into the fossil record.
So the goal was to go out and photograph as many sharks as you possibly could.
Yes.
And each, I guess, shark had a certain number of points.
That's right.
Depending on how rare they were.
Yeah.
And that was the mission. You would
That
have
was
loved
the
this.
mission. I was literally like
loved
on a mission. I was thriving. I was meditating. I was present. Like it was great.
How did this come up? How did you end up?
Remember
show?
Naked for Nature, that like company I was just telling you about? So in classic ADHD fashion, I hard launched a 1-episode podcast series, video podcast series, LOL. And just didn't do it after that. But the only thing that was on the internet at that time, this was like maybe 3.5 years ago at this point, like tying my name and my face to the word sharks was this video podcast of me interviewing my friend who's a shark diver, talking about sustainable shark ecotourism in Florida. And it was like me like talking to the camera, talking about sharks, asking questions, and like from that video, I believe, and I think we've talked about it before, he doesn't really remember, but this producer emailed me and was like, hey,
wow,
I'm casting you for this TV show, like you're gonna want to Zoom. And I was like, how the hell did you find me?
Yeah.
Like, what? But also, it was, like, I thought it was a scam, but it was also so specific. He was like, it's a shark TV show. Like, and I was just like...
this guy knows too much.
Yeah, I was like, well, worst thing that could happen is I end up on some, like, sketchy website. Like, I'm going to Zoom. It's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to see what happens.
Yep.
And I interviewed for it. Like, nothing happened. I feel like I was being weird during the interview. He asked me, like, why I liked sharks so much, and I think I cried. Like, it was weird. And like, obviously I didn't hear from him after that. So I just figured that just wasn't going to happen. And then like a year later, he reached out to me again. He's like, hey, that show didn't go through, but this one 100% is, you're going to want to interview for it. I was like, yeah, dude, whatever. So I like had the meeting with him, didn't hear from him for 6 months. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, do you have a friend that loves sharks? And I was like, yeah, my friend MJ. And he's like, great, you and MJ are going to be a team. Like, you guys both got cast. Congratulations. Like, show starts, like, sometime in June or July. We can't tell you what the show is, who else is on it, where it starts or when it starts, but, like, we'll give you a ticket at some point in, like, June and July, and, like, you'll arrive at the first destation. I was like...
That's how it worked?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like... am I getting trafficked? Like, I'd be like, this is exactly what my parents told me not to do. But also, like, maybe it's a sick trip.
Yes.
And it was a sick trip.
Did you know that it was a Netflix show?
No.
No.
Until I signed the NDA, and then which came like literally the day, like everything was like the day before.
You didn't know where you were going, what you had to do?
Nah.
Wow.
or
That's
who else was on it. I
insane.
was like, hello?
And your friend was just like, let's go.
Yeah, both of us were like, sounds good. Like the producer was like a reputable producer, even though the company name sounded like a fake name to me. Best production company.
That's great.
I was like, what the hell?
That's fake written all over
And
it.
this dude's name who was casting me was Mike with a Y.
M-Y.
M-Y-K-E. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't believe any of that.
Yep.
Until we got a ticket to go to the Maldives, and like 3 days later we were in the Maldives.
Wow. Yes. That's insane. And then you
Yes.
went to how many countries?
Like the show was across 6 different countries.
Six countries.
Yeah, 6 countries.
Yep. Insane.
Yeah, insame.
And you were very strategic. This is where you pulled out the X-ray. The X-ray.
The X-ray. I love it. That sounds sick.
This is where you pulled out the stingray card.
Yeah.
And
hell
you were getting points for taking photos of stingrays because you were
Hell
like,
yeah.
these guys probably don't know.
No, I was like, I'm so glad that they included rays in that because everybody sees the sharks.
Was
right?
that because of you?
No, that was genuine. I don't know,
really?
actually. I don't know if it was inspired by me, but like, damn, I came to the show and they're like, I was like, do rays count? And they're like, yeah, rays count. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So they did their research. Like, they knew what was up.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you had to be very strategic on this because they only gave you like, what was it, 80 hours of air per week?
Like 8.
8 hours of air per day.
I think we had 8 hours a day where
Yep.
we could be in the water, but only 4 tanks per person, which would be like 4 hours.
Okay.
Or less, like 4 hours or
Yep.
less. But you could snorkel and do other things. But yeah, you had to be strategic with it. It was like full on. Oh my God. When we got to the Maldives, like we just had no idea like what the show was. Like they told us, but like in practice, we're like, how the heck is this gonna work? And it all worked out in the end. But like the first day was like,
True.
it's like a whirlwind. We were like, what the?
It was super interesting because I saw how you guys were all like trying to strategize.
Yeah.
And you could like try and go out in like the deep areas and try and get like a super rare fish.
That's right.
To get like more points. But if you didn't find it, you're kind of screwed, right?
Yes.
And then you've also run out of time for the
right.
day. Or you could go and get like lots of little fish for the little points.
That's right.
And get as many as you can.
Yeah. It was definitely a game of strategy.
Yeah.
And
It's very cool.
the boys, the Shark Docs, they did so well. Like with the strategy, they were really on it. So kudos to them for like the plan since day one. I think
Yes.
MJ and we did a lot of background research on like the species, but like not as much on like the game plan that we were gonna do. Like if this doesn't happen, then what's our next plan?
Yeah.
That would have been my.
Yeah, it looked hard. As I was watching
was.
it, I was like, oh man, you really have to think about what you're doing here.
Yeah, and it's also nature. It's like you could plan everything and then it like goes to shit. Like the first day that MJ and I were in the Maldives, we were like, okay, we know that we're going to see thresher sharks if we go to like this one spot on the island. Like we're going to call it in immediately. And we called it in. Nobody else did. We were like, that's weird. Like that's like the main spot like to see these. Why did no one else do it? And we got there and remembered, oh, we didn't check the weather conditions. And then it was like huge, like few meter seas,
Wow.
like throwing the boat around, just like super windy.
Yep.
We're like,
That's why no one's here.
yeah, they
Got
like looked at
it.
the weather.
Yes. And you caught yourself in a few situations. You were in a Sharknado.
I was. Oh my God. Career highlight. Let me
Career
tell
highlight.
you. Yeah.
Talk to me about the Sharknado.
Oh, so amazing. So it's this really niche, I guess, dive spot off Chiba, Japan.
Okay.
So yeah, there's like a ton of these sharks just swimming around you. There's like these red stingrays that are so stunning and they have zero sense of personal space. Nobody cares about personal space.
Wow.
Like we're sitting there like trying to take pictures and like rays will be sliding over my camera, over my head. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. I was literally crying underwater. It was so amazing. I was like, like on the surface interval, I was like,
man.
no, I don't want to leave. It's amazing. Highly recommend.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you ended up in a spot where you were just surrounded by how many sharks?
Oh, like probably hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah, but like they're like sharks. They're like this big.
They're like cute.
Those are actually cute. Like I'm not gonna. Those are actually
dude.
freaking cute.
Yeah. And how do you set goals after that? Do you set goals?
After that?
Yeah.
No, that was it. That was the career goal. I was like,
was
done.
the career goal.
Done.
Yeah, you've done it because Even outside of this, you've literally done a TED Talk. This is insane. I kept going. I'm like, she's done everything.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I think my general like life philosophy is just send it.
I can tell.
Yeah, like, and also I guess fake it till you make it in a certain degree. Like,
where does the confidence come from?
I think I'm not afraid to fail as much as well, maybe after our last talk, I'm like, maybe I am a little bit scared to fail, but I think that I'm really used to failing because like with the ADHD and dyslexia, like growing up in the school system, like I'm just like so used to like trying my hardest and it not freaking working like in a school setting that's not like an unfamiliar feeling to me. So I'm like but at the same time I also know how great it can feel to like commit so hard and like succeed like from sports for example. And so kind of combining those two philosophies, I just kind of I'm like, let's just go 100% and like as long as I'm just doing like working in my passion, like I feel like I'm unstoppable. Like as long as I don't fall out of love with something, like I will make it happen. And like I think it's falling in love with the process, but like I do really like focus on like that end goal. I'm like, I want to have done that. Like I'm gonna get there. Like let's go. And so and
that, you think that overpowers like the other things in your mind that I think hold other people back? And you almost like lean into them. Like there are a lot of people that probably would shy away from saying that they have ADHD or dyslexia, and you lean into it to the point where like that's what led you to your TED Talk.
Exactly, literally.
You were doing a talk on dyslexia, and it's like leaning into those things, whereas most people would want to hide that, and that's what holds them back from doing a lot of things that they want to do. How do you think you became that way?
That's a good question.
Do you have those thoughts? Like, what made you just...
I definitely do have like a ton of self-doubt thoughts like all the time. But I think that momentum is like my best friend, and like I feel like I think I was motivated at first by like anger and frustration, like by like consistently like not doing well in school, that then like pushed me to just like essentially like in a rebellious way. It was just like, fuck all these people, like I'm gonna do it the way that works for me, not the way that I was taught. And like that was kind of like pushing me to like be as good as I can and like get the grades, and like I did it, and then it was kind of like hot in your face, like I can do it with like art instead of with like study guides. And then that kind of like angst and like anger, I feel like, is what propelled me to do that, and then turned that into like the TED Talk, which was probably the next thing, and just be like, I've been like in my mind I was like the underdog in like school and all that stuff, and just like untapped potential until I figured it out. Like nobody really like guided me to use my brain the way it was built. And then that's kind of like pushed me onto the next step. And then, giving the TED Talk, like that was like, holy crap, like I give a TED Talk, I feel like I can do anything. And then I just kind of don't let myself stop. Like you just kind of keep that momentum while you have it. And like, it doesn't have to be in the same thing. Like it doesn't have to be like, okay, now I got to go into research and do like, neuroscience and like study dyslexia and learning differences. It's like, okay, where am I being pulled now? Like I am being pulled towards the ocean more. So like, let me just like kind of explore that and see what happens, and just, not being afraid to try. And if after you try, you're like, damn, I'm kind of hooked on it. Like just keep going until like it doesn't hit anymore. That's kind of my mentality. And I'm stepping into that more now than before.
Do you get nervous?
I get nervous. I get nervous like public speaking beforehand. Like I think it's more like excited, like excited nerves. And then in the water,
excited nerves.
Excited nerves. I would say excited nerves too.
I've tried to become more aware of like my nerves.
And
then I feel like being nervous is a good thing.
It is.
I feel like it almost shows that you care. Like if you're not nervous, you probably don't care.
100%.
So
I feel that.
I'm trying to come at it with that mindset.
Like it's not a negative thing.
No,
like,
it's like, I want to be good.
Have them. They just like don't like say much, or they come off as really confident, so you assume they don't. But like, totally. Nerves are like, I feel like nerves are like an indicator that like you're doing something that's important to you or that's exciting.
Exactly. That's what I think. I truly believe that.
I think that's fun.
From my own experiences too.
But
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like Netflix show, a TED Talk? How do you set goals beyond that? Do you feel like pressure?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not from anyone. It's like 100% from me. And like, this is getting, sorry.
You're right.
This is, yeah, it's so cool. These headphones are amazing. That was wild. Wow. I would say like from a human perspective, like, I mean, I've been trying to like think into this for a lot now, like for a while. But like, why can't I stop or like slow down? Like, I feel like I need to constantly be hitting milestones.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily like the healthiest, you know? Like, there's definitely times where I'm like, it'd be nice to just like slow down and realize like, wow, I've actually done a lot, and like appreciate those things or even build on those things.
Yep.
But I just feel like I need to get to the next frontier and do the next thing and like keep proving it to myself. But at the same time, I don't think it's an unhealthy thing, because I've been able to push myself so much further than ever.
Yep.
And I achieve things that like make me proud of myself. So it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yes. Especially when you've achieved things like that. Like, it'd be hard to almost repeat.
Yeah.
You know, like you've achieved, by achieving like such big milestones, do you feel like it could be a trap where, like, say time goes by and you're like, man, years ago I was doing TED Talks and Netflix shows, and you feel the pressure to keep at that
level?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, those are like
and
big titles.
Yeah, exactly. They are big. They're massive titles.
And yeah.
And then if you don't achieve something on, you know, in comparison to that, would you feel let down?
Yeah, that is
like,
the
that's
question.
a bit of a trap, right?
That is a trap. And I definitely don't want to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
And I'll also, like, when it comes to goal setting, like, I think I'm generally like a mess, like all over the place, and I'm trying to figure out what of those are like things that are just like cool to have done versus like actual goals that are substantial, that I want to work towards, and that are like important for my like life story.
Yes.
That I want to like tell my kids about one day, you know, something like that. Because like for me, I don't journal too much, but I do voice notes every now and then.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so, like, I was just listening to some of them. I have, like, a 5-year plan, like, that I've just redone every 2 years. I have, like, 4 versions of them now. And they're all across the board. Sometimes I'm like, oh, damn, I did go to grad school. Okay, yeah, I did do that.
Yes.
Or, like, I did move to Australia. Like, I did do that. But it's also, like, you know, work on a Lindblad expedition boat to Antarctica. Like, that's probably a side quest, but that's probably not, like, a goal, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I want to have done that to say I've done that,
Yep.
and like I've had those experiences, but like I still am having a hard time differentiating like a goal from something that I just want to do that takes a little bit more than like a day to get, you know?
Yeah, totally. I was listening to a podcast, and the guy, who was it? I think his name was Dan Coe, and he was like, when you set goals, you need to be self-aware enough to know that whether it's a goal that you've set for yourself or a goal that you feel has been assigned to you from the groups that you want to become a part of. You think that's what you need to do to be accepted by the people that are watching you and your peers.
100%.
That group. And you end up doing things that you don't really want to do, but you set them as goals because you think that's what people want you to do.
100%.
And then you end up doing all these things and achieving things, but you're not really satisfied. But you're like, well, this is what people want me to do.
Yeah.
Or you think people want you to do.
Yeah, or you think that you need in order to get to the next step.
Yeah,
like, I don't think social media helps with that.
A lot of it is social media.
Yeah.
It's like, what do the people on... How can I be perceived as this type of person from social media?
That's so true.
I've tried to become more aware of that. And it's kind of getting back to what we were talking about like before we started. It's like me trying to figure out like, what are the things that I really want to do?
I know.
Not just doing the things that I think would look cool.
That's true.
You know?
And I'm kind of trying to figure that out still right now. Like, I got into underwater photography and just like did underwater photography. But like recently I'm like, damn, I have a camera. Like I don't have to wait till like the conditions are good to like go and shoot things. I just started doing like kind of women beach portrait photography, kind of.
Yep.
Like Pinterest vibe, like siren energy, like super feminine, like it's just like super fun. And I just was feeling really called to do that one day, so I like asked a friend. She came and met me at Bronte at 5 a.m.
Wow.
From Manly. I'm like, what?
Damn.
Yeah, crazy. And like just got to experiment creatively with like a completely different type of photography, which has nothing to do with what I actually am doing, and it's a completely different skill set.
Yes.
But it was just really cool to be able to like exercise my own creative will.
Yes.
And be like, oh, like people are expecting me to be posting like underwater photography, like this is a shark, and like that. Sure, I'll still do that. I love it, but this was like something that came from within me that I was like, I actually have a creative idea that I want to do. And I just did it. Like, that felt like Aliah making an Aliah decision.
Yep, very good.
Yeah, like breaking out of like the monotony of just falling into habits.
Do you feel like you've created such a strong identity around you and the ocean?
Yes.
That you can't do anything else?
I don't think, like, I'm trying, I think I still have that, like, rebellious kind of side of me where I'm just like, everybody can suck it. Like, I'm going to just roll. Like, I'm just going to do what I want to do, and, like, I will be successful. Like, I feel like deep down, I just know that I will be successful in some unconventional way. And I'm not sure if, like, the ocean side of it, I think it is probably related to whatever that ultimate thing is, but I feel confident to, like, pursue other areas, but I still definitely have like hesitations on like how to portray those to the world, because like everything I do is kind of like public facing, like the photography aspect even, it's like I do that and I share it, like I want people to see it,
of course,
but it doesn't make sense, I've noticed, to like kind of put the like female stuff, like the photography, like beach photography stuff, onto my like fish page essentially, because I've got like, I don't know. I don't want to conflate two brands that could be two different ones. Yep. So it's also like a question of marketing, and like for me, everything is kind of like potentially a business, because like we live in such a crazy time where you could really like make a business just by living your life.
Totally.
You know?
You really can.
So it's like, okay, let's just like partition this and make it make sense. So there's thought that goes into like, okay, how is this going to get perceived? Maybe it doesn't go onto my main one. Maybe I make a separate thing.
Yep.
But it doesn't like stop me from exploring those areas. I think that's where like that is not a life I want to live. Or I don't think any creative or any person should be living that life.
Especially creatives.
Especially creative, where it's dictated based off, you're like, oh, but this is outside of what I'm usually posting, like outside of my wheelhouse. So you're not gonna go do something that brings you joy, flexes your creative muscles? Nah.
Yep. That makes sense. I'm in that same situation, and you're right. There are times where a lot of what I do, I feel like helps creatives, and there's like a page for that. Yeah. And there are times where I do something that's not that, and I'm like, well, it can't live here. Yeah. It doesn't mean I shouldn't be doing it.
No.
It can just live somewhere else, and you just create a separate space for that.
100%.
But it's also, but then there's a balance of that where it's like, especially, let's say, like for you, it's like everything you know, you're obviously so passionate and enthusiastic. Like you talk about sharks and the water and stuff, you can tell that you love it, which is great. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be allowed to try other things.
No.
But you want to make space to intentionally do those things.
Of course, because at the end of the day, like I wouldn't have even had the flexibility to land on sharks if I wasn't like out there exploring and doing stuff. It's like, it's not like I was born loving sharks. I was born scared of sharks. And I like explored things and like found it, and then like that became successustal, and like that persona became successful.
Do you get scared of like pigeonholing yourself? Sometimes?
Yes. Oh my god, like right now specifically on my Instagram, like because I'm posting, like I have been trying to find the thing that works for my Instagram feed, because like I do feel like a very multifaceted person. I have a ton of interests, and those interests aren't just interests, they're like core personality pillars of mine. So it's like I feel like those all need to be wholly represented. And so I've tried so many different things on there to get that flexed. And so like when the show came out, I was like, okay, let's do some like science communication around rays and stuff like that. And it took me so much freaking time to make those videos, to research them, to write the script, to record it, to edit it.
Big investment.
And it wasn't really paying off. And then one day I was like, you know, okay, Aliah, you've set the schedule where you're gonna post 2-3 times a week. You got to post something. You didn't make anything yet. Shit, okay, like I guess I went diving this morning and I took a picture of this shark. Like, let me just record myself editing it and put it up. And like that did so well, and it was so easy to make because I already edit pictures like for fun, and I already talk to myself while I edit pictures. So I just put a mic on. I'm like, okay, here we go, and it did really well. And so then I just kept running with that, and it's like that is what's grown my Instagram. And the Netflix thing, like, sure, maybe I got like the 3,000 followers from that, but like from doing these 2 posts a week of me editing my underwater photos, I've gotten 15,000 followers.
Awesome.
In the past 2 months,
Yep.
like 2.5 months.
And you enjoy doing that.
I enjoy doing it. It's something I already do, and it's fun. But now, for the first time, like that's like I'm doing the same thing all the time. It's like when I do post something slightly outside of that, which is what I was posting like 2 months ago before I started, to do this, it doesn't like do as well, or it's like, people get confused. It's like, oh, is this a science page? I'm like, I don't want my page to be like, oh, that's the underwater photography editing page. It's like, that is like so much of a fraction of who I am as a person.
Yes.
And I just want it to be reflected on my socials a bit more of who I am.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would struggle with this. Creatives especially on socials, is like we want to do lots of things, and a lot of the times we experiment, and the thing we land on is the thing that probably performs the best.
That's right.
But we don't actually love it compared to all the other things we do. And you're like, oh, that performed well, so I have to keep doing that.
Yes.
Even though I probably want to be doing other things. And then you get in your head because you're like, I don't want to confuse my audience.
Right.
They're coming for this and I'm giving them something else. And we struggle to know like what to post.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like...
You need a healthy balance of both.
Yeah, and also just like...
And not being too caught up in the numbers, I think.
That's right. Like, that's like Instagram and social media in general is just like designed to keep people like hooked on there. And so, yeah, like whatever performs best doesn't necessarily mean that that's the thing that you're like the best at or like you're going to be most successful at. Like you should still be able to, and I'm just saying you, us, we, me, I'm talking to myself, should feel like, empowered to like just create and not worry so much about that.
It's such a massive like mind fuck. Like, I'm in this same situation now.
Yeah.
And it's like this whole cycle, right? Where I was trying to do everything, all these different things all at once. And they're all okay, but I was like being way too stretched, and I was stressed and overwhelmed and doing way too much. And I was like, what do I love doing? I was like, I love doing the pod. Let me focus on the pod. And it went from like 10% of my time to 80% of my time was doing, and it grew. And it's like, of course, the things you focus on grow.
Of course.
However, so I'm like, okay, cool. I figured out that works. But it's same as you. I'm like, I don't just love doing a podcast. And it's not why I got into this. When I first picked up a camera, wasn't even thinking of podcasts. And I'm afraid of becoming the podcast guy.
I know.
And I'm like, I'm the podcast guy now.
No.
And it's like, I don't want that. I'm like, I enjoy this and this is fun, but I love making videos and taking photos. And I'm not doing, like right now, I'm not doing that. And 80% of my time is editing 2 people talking with, a black coat. Like, it's not very creative. The conversation's creative and I love talking.
Of course.
But I don't want to be the podcast guy.
No.
Yeah, and I think it's a similar thing to what you're saying. And recently I've been thinking like, how do I break out of that? Oh, I can't post something different because people are expecting me to be the pod guy. And so my solution, which I've started now, is like, how do I combine the things I want to do with what I'm currently doing? So, and I've already organized it. So I'm doing this once a week.
Yeah.
And then once a month, I think, it's hard because you don't know how long something's going to take when you do it.
Yeah, right.
I want to do this in like a doc style film.
Ooh.
So say we were to do one, instead of us sitting here and me asking you questions, I ask you the same questions, but we're out.
Hell yeah.
In the ocean. Maybe not in the ocean.
In
like,
the ocean.
I don't know if this is an
Underwater.
example. So I've got... completely different. I've got 2 guys. So I've got a friend who paints murals.
Oh, cool.
Around. So he's an artist, right? And he's got a studio. He works with all these other artists in the same warehouse, but he's got his little studio and he practices there. And then he's out painting murals around the city. That's what he does for a living.
Yeah,
so rather than having him sit here, I'll go to his studio. We're asking the same question. So it's podcast
So cool.
style, but I get to fulfill my, that creative thing that I want to do. So I get to make videos and tell stories rather than sit here.
100%.
But it's like problem solving because
Yes.
felt like I was in that same position as you.
Yes.
Where it's like, I'm now the pod guy and I can't post anything else here and it's really frustrating, but the numbers show that that's what the people want, so I'm going to keep doing it,
It's like, you're not pigeonholing yourself. Like, this isn't permanent, right? Like, but if this is what's succeeding right now and like you're becoming successful and known and your platform is like growing because of it, like let it grow.
You've got to keep doing it.
Yeah, ride the wave.
Yeah.
And then like once that success is there, then like you can just kind of be creative with it, because it'll take a lot longer to try and like pitch this like multifaceted version of ourselves online to like grow an audience around there. It's actually a lot easier to like find a niche and then grow and then like expand. And I'm sure there'll be like kind of like a weird like crossover there where you lose some people but you gain some more. You're utilizing this pigeonhole to your advantage to then be able to have the freedom to like kind of do all the things. Because it's like I've definitely gotten so many opportunities like in the past few months just from like people have found me because of this, but it's not like I'm only an underwater photographer in their mind. They're like, oh, we saw you speaking. Like, we like want to, help you out with wetsuits or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, what the heck?
Yeah, true.
And that wouldn't have happened if I was just like, being really stubborn and being like, I need every part of me to be shown equally right now. It's like, grow, use this as like strategic marketing, and then
I think
go from there.
I think so. I think when you find that one thing, like you do the thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you also show that audience like, hey, I also do this.
That's right.
And I also do this, which also like separates you from people in the same space as well.
Totally.
Because you're that person that does the thing, but he's also interested in things that can attract other audiences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're the marine biologist who also loves photography, and loves creative work. Whereas that may separate you from other marine biologists.
Yeah. That's right. Like everybody has their own different
because you
flavor.
share that.
That's right.
You share your other interests, and it helps you stand out within a niche.
Yes, true.
Right? So I could be a podcaster, and I could look just like every other podcaster, but I also share that I love fitness and murals, and I have my own studio. Like me sharing all those other things separates me from all the other podcasters.
Yes. We feel like multifaceted people because it's like, oh, we have all these interests.
Yep.
And the reality is like, everyone's actually multifaceted. So like, there's going to be people who are like, okay, all I want to see right now is underwater photography, so I'm going to go to her page. But like, there's also a lot of people, like even that person has a bunch of diverse interests and stuff like that. So like, if you can showcase that, there's also probably a huge pool of people who overlap in a lot of those areas, and they'll click on you because they're like, we're more similar.
Exactly.
It's so true.
The thing is that it gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming because both things are true.
Yeah.
And it's so true in so many things. Like someone could say, share everything, because it's basically always like share all your interests because they're the things that you're interested in, and people are going to connect in different ways, which is true. However, you can focus on the one thing, and that works for other people as well.
Yeah.
So like they're both right. There's no right or wrong, and we're proof of both. Like even with you talking about the tutorials on Lightroom, you focused on doing tutorials for Lightroom. You did it for a couple months. You end up on Adobe's platform. Like you've got your own.
Yeah. What the heck?
You've got your own tutorial on Adobe's platform, like teaching people how to edit photos. Yeah. Which is insane, but it comes from you just like sticking to the one thing for 2 months.
That's so, oh my God, full circle.
Which is like the complete opposite of what we were just telling people to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like opportunities come when you focus on the one thing.
It's
so
true.
there has to be a balance of like both. Like there are so many benefits that come from like focusing on the one thing and becoming known as the person in that space.
That's true.
And creating that identity.
Everything is dynamic, and like that's what I need to keep reminding myself as well. Is like, you get known as this person, but you're not like you, who cares what other people are thinking, like in the grand scheme of things. Like if you want to change things up, you change things up. And also like you can get known for other things. I like started off doing like dyslexia and ADHD research, and then like now I'm on like a Netflix show for sharks. It's like you can just keep reinventing yourself. It's really just a question of like how much are you going to commit to those things. So it's you don't have to be scared of accidentally slipping into one identity, because it's never permanent. And also it's not your identity like as a human. It's just the public facing version that people perceive you, which can change.
I could start doing car photography tomorrow. No one would identify me as a car photographer, but if I just kept doing it, took photos of everyone's car, all my friends, in 3 months' time, I would stop being the podcast guy.
That's right.
And I'd be the car guy.
100%.
And your whole identity can change if you just start doing it and you keep doing it until the perception changes.
It's right.
And you're a great example of this.
I'm actively in that process again right now. I'm like always redoing it. I'm trying to get into surf photography. And like I've tried to make it a mission of myself to like, I live in South Bondi, like super close to the beach, so I could just like constantly go to the beach and be in the water. Like as long as I feel safe, like there's no reason that I shouldn't be in the water. And like the more I've been in there, the more people have come up to me and like asked for my Instagram handle because they want the pictures I took of them. And I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I'm a mediocre surfer at best, so I'm
Yes.
like just kind of figuring out where I should be, but I'm just trying it out, and I am trying to like get a little reputation as like one of the surf photographers here, because I want that. I
Very
want to
good.
be able to have done surf photography and like be proud of it, and the only way that I'm going to get better is by being out there and doing it
Yes.
and talking to people.
Yes.
So yeah.
And I feel like also just not being afraid to announce it.
No,
like to say it the way that you just did.
At all. Like it is
It's a
it
bit
is scary
scary.
to be a novice. Like honestly, I thought that I was really comfortable being bad at things
Yeah.
like as an adult, but I've realized like after doing like trying surfing and even like skating to a certain degree, and yeah, surf photography, sure, we'll lump that in there. Like I don't like being bad at things. I'm so used to being good at things. Like all sports I've always played. Like so I've never experienced that in that sense. But it's such an important thing to just freaking get over.
But
you're
you-
not gonna be good at the beginning.
True.
And
But are you
it
afraid
doesn't.
of, like,
it's not fun. It's not fun.
It's not fun. But are you afraid of like telling people? Like when I first started this pod thing, there's no way in a million years anyone would have ever thought I'd be doing a podcast. I would not have even said it. You know, and there's this not fear. Yeah, I guess it would be a fear to be like, oh shit, I've got to tell people that I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
And you know, people that know, like I was telling you, super introvert.
Yeah. It's so
Rarely
crazy.
showed myself in front of the camera for the longest time. Someone forced me to make a video about like with me in it, and it was a mentor of mine. I paid a mentor, and she was like, I didn't know who you were because I didn't see you anywhere on your page. And I was like, oh yeah, that's not what I do.
That's not me.
That's not me. And
Yeah.
she's like, well, it is you from now
Yes.
on. And she's like, when I see you next week, I need you to have posted a video introducing yourself to everyone.
Damn.
And it was terrifying.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was so scary. And to be that guy would never in a million years tell you that I would be having my own podcast now.
Wow.
And when you first started, there's this fear of like, what are people going to think
Oh, of course.
when I say I'm starting a podcast?
Of course.
And
I'm
that,
so deep in that right now.
yes. And there has to come to a point where you own it. And you're like, no, this is what I do now.
Yeah.
Which is very scary to do.
It is.
Especially when you do something that's different to the identity you've created
Exactly.
for yourself already.
Yes.
And overcoming that fear, which is something that I feel like is very common in your
Yeah.
career. Like just overcoming fear and not letting those thoughts
Yeah.
stop you from doing things is very
Totally.
common in your story. So like all those things that you talk about, I'm like, I was remembering moments in my career. It's like, you have to kind of overcome this fear.
You do.
that You,
Like, there's
you
no way
can't
around it.
There's no way around
No.
it. Yeah, exactly.
And like again, like same thing with nerves. I feel like fear is probably an indication that you're about to do something like
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but you saw there's
stupid.
literally no way around it.
No, there's
or
not.
It's, because if you don't, then you don't do it.
That's right.
And then you...
And how does that help? Like, you're not learning anything from that.
It's not. And there's regret. There's regret. And then there's also... what's the word? You sit there watching
Yes.
everyone else do
Yes.
the thing you want to
Yes.
do because they overcame the fear that you couldn't overcome.
And I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what motivates me. Like, I'm not willing to be that person sitting there
Yes.
watching other people do it,
Yeah.
even if I wanted to do
That's
it.
what made me do it.
Yeah, and I think that's a great motivator. Like,
Yeah.
it's the opposite of regret. Like, because you're doing it before you would ever feel the regret. You're feeling the
Yep.
FOMO before you even not do it. So yeah, you gotta send it. And
Yeah.
life's too short to just like not
Yeah.
try. You know.
And from everything that comes out of trying, like from your story,
Yeah.
is insane.
And I think that, like, it's just belief in yourself at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day. Like, that's not necessarily something that you can teach, but it's something that you prove to yourself by doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you are, like, not feeling like you believe in yourself, it's probably because you don't have a track record of proving yourself wrong.
Yes. Yeah,
you know?
that.
So you gotta do the things
Yep.
and build up the internal resume
Yep.
to feel confident in your abilities to do
Yes.
impressive things. Like, you
Exactly.
can do it, but you gotta prove it to yourself. Like, right now, this is my pill that I'm trying to swallow. Like, you asked me how I feel about, like, introducing myself to people as,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm an underwater photographer. I'm like, I think imposter syndrome will, like, inevitably come up in any of these
Yes.
things. So, and I don't think that's, like, a novel idea. So I'm going to kind of just like sit that on the back burner that like I have imposter syndrome every time I introduce myself as anything. And I introduce myself as different things depending on who I'm talking to. Because like sometimes it's not like I want to read off my resume so that they know the full person of who I am.
Yes.
But also like, yeah, sometimes I'm like with somebody who's a photographer. I'm like, oh, I'm an underwater photographer.
Yeah, totally.
Sometimes I'm like, you know, in a research setting and I was like, oh, I'm a marine biologist.
Yes.
You know?
Correct.
Sometimes I'm like, I work in comms because I technically do work in comms right now. But like, it just depends on it. But right now, and I feel imposter syndrome in all of those, by the way.
When you say it?
Yes.
I was going to say, like, you want to be able to say those things with confidence,
and
right?
I'd say them with confidence, but I still feel imposter syndrome.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I still definitely, I try to present as confident because I believe that you will things into existence.
Yes.
And like by saying them out loud, even before it's true, like when you believe it, like that's when it's happening.
Yes.
You know, and there will be a day when you believe it.
Yes.
Like I used to say like, I'm an underwater photographer when I like really wasn't technically, but like also like what technically is.
Yes.
Like you're taking pictures underwater. Like I'm not like, no one's dying for me using that title. You know, it's not like I'm doing something like inherently wrong by saying like I'm an underwater photographer. That's for me.
Yes.
That's for me to say.
Totally.
You know, I'm not misleading anybody. Like you can see my work. I'm an underwater photographer.
And when you present yourself that way, that's also how opportunities come about.
100%.
You know, it really like and it's what does a lot of this. We spoke a lot before we started.
Yeah. That's the pre-podcast.
But it's like presenting yourself with confidence. And taking yourself seriously makes other people take you seriously too.
Yes.
When you say, I'm an underwater photographer, and you say it with confidence, like that's who you are.
Yeah.
They could easily be, because of how you said it and how you presented yourself to me, I'm like, I know someone who needs someone.
Yes, right.
It could easily be that. You did one podcast episode, like one.
Literally one.
Talking about sharks. Someone saw it, was like, she presented herself like she knows this shit.
That's right.
I have an opportunity for her.
That's right.
And it's like taking yourself seriously. Whereas like if you say it timidly and it's like, oh yeah, I kind of do it here and there.
Like you gotta be.
No one's going to take that seriously.
You need to act like you're somebody else's manager, essentially, trying to get them jobs and stuff like that. Like this is my big thing. Don't close the door for yourself.
Yeah.
Like open the door for yourself so that you can have the opportunity to make a decision. But like don't let the opportunity be made because you didn't like send it at the beginning. Like there's like a funnel of like things where it's like, you know, there's the big top of the funnel and then it goes down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yes, at the top of it I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm an underwater photographer.
Yeah.
Even if I'm like, maybe that's outside of my wheelhouse, but then you're like, oh, well, let me refer you to my friend.
Yep.
And at that point, you might have like a little mini panic attack and be like, oh my God, wait, no, I'm not like that. Like, please don't. Like, I don't think I'm ready for that. But like, the reality is I don't know what you're referring me for or like what the job even entails. Maybe I am qualified to do it. Maybe you don't really need to have like all the things figured out before I do that. And I'll do a great job still. So like, don't shut yourself out there by then being like, oh, actually, sorry, no, not like that. Or like, I'm an underwater photographer, kind of, like it's a hobby.
Yes.
Just like wait until you get that opportunity and then you can make an actual educated decision. Yeah, I'm eligible to do this. Or like, no, this is out of my wheelhouse for now, but you've made the connection.
It's true.
And you've not misled anybody. Like, there's always an option for you down the line.
It is true, but it's scary. I had that
scary.
When I first started putting myself in front of the camera. Everything, my presentation for everything, absolutely everything was like, hey guys, I'm just, it'd be, the tone was, I'm figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying this out. And it was my out. And you get a lot of support.
Yes, of course.
At the start. Because everyone's like, yeah, man, keep going. You got to do this. And it kind of like feels good.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd always make a video and I'd show like a handful of my close friends first to be like, what do you think of this? Like, is this a good video before I post it? Just for feedback. And that was working great for the long, but I kept doing it. Like that was just my go-to tone because it was like my out. I didn't want to own it and everything. And I was like a year in and I remember I showed my friend, I'm like, what do you think of this video? Same thing I always do. I've been showing this friend videos forever. And she's like, she literally told, she's like, you need to stop that shit. Like you're not just figuring it out anymore. You've been doing it for a year and a half. Like you're actually like, you know what you're doing. Stop it.
That's right.
And I needed to hear that because like, everything I was getting was like, yeah, man, keep going. So proud. It was never, I've got an opportunity for you. Because you're not taking yourself, you're presenting yourself as the beginner.
That's right.
And you're scared to say, I'm good at this.
Right.
You know, because it's like your little out.
100%.
But you lose out on opportunities on that because everyone sees you as the beginner that's just figuring shit out and doesn't know what he's doing.
That's right. And like, of course, there's a line. It's like you don't want to like oversell yourself to the point where you're like clearly out of your wheelhouse. But you don't want to stay in that place.
No. There has to be a point where you
like,
actually...
It's okay to present yourself as a beginner.
Yes.
for a bit.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
did it for way too long.
Don't get stuck
Way
in
too
that.
long.
Don't get stuck in that.
I felt safe in that space.
Of course, it's definitely easier.
Because then I'm like, if it sucks, I told everyone I was just...
Yeah, if you come out and you're like, I'm a podcaster,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you got like all these like professional podcast or like just people who think they're professional podcasters being like, oh, well, what fuck, is your mic on? Like, oh, is like, all this stuff. And you're like,
exactly.
okay.
That audio's not crispy enough.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
yeah.
where's the supportive community? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And I think actually, you know, I don't try to say that I'm a beginner, but like for the sciences, it's a slippery slope with titles and stuff
Of
like that.
course,
I
yeah.
get called out
Yep.
by what I thought were colleagues, you know,
Yeah,
that
of
are like,
course.
oh, you know, we have this really strict definition of what a marine biologist is, and like you really shouldn't be calling yourself that. And I'm thinking like, you know, don't you have like other things to be doing if you're such a powerful marine biologist than to be like critiquing how I'm like introducing myself on Instagram?
Yeah, true.
But it's like that's like one separate thing, but
Yep.
I don't ever really claim to be an expert in anything, and that's, you know, I don't really feel the need to like I like to come across as like a regular person that's like
Yep.
learning along the way, and I don't like to pretend like I have all the answers figured out for anything.
Yep.
Like people still tell me crazy stuff about sharks and I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
true.
Like I'm so open to learning more and never closed off to that, and I never try to masquerade as like I have everything figured out, and I think
Yes.
that's actually important for brand building and
Yes.
credibility, because like
Yes.
it's not really relatable to be a know-it-all and like truly just pretend like you know it all,
Yes,
because
correct.
nobody knows it all. So I'm happy when people comment on my pictures, my editing stuff, and they're like, oh, like,
Yes.
you know, you could add another light source here, or like,
Yep.
did you know that there's this other tool on Lightroom? And I'm like, oh, I actually did not know any of those things. Thank you. Like, that's super cool.
Yes.
So
I love this because with so many topics, and I find it more and more, both things are right.
yeah,
Like there's
I know.
when people say, you know, because it's like we literally just said like
I know.
pretend to be being the expert and then learning along the way.
That's right.
Like it's knowing that I still have a lot to learn and I
Yes.
am not the expert.
No.
But I'm confident enough to know that I can teach people things.
And like, I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Like, I know what I'm
exactly.
doing. I
Like,
don't have to
you
be
know enough.
the expert.
Yes, you know enough. You know so much just by having this conversation and just by going through your work. I learned so much
Oh, that makes me
that I
happy.
didn't know.
Yay.
But like you should feel confident enough to know that you can teach people things
Yes.
while at the same time say that there's still a long way, like a lot for you to learn and you're not an expert.
So much.
Like they're both right.
Yes.
You know?
I know.
It
I've-
applies to so many things.
So many things. Like,
Mm.
I actually have like, I feel like the last year was like my enlightenment period
Mm-hmm.
for that specific thought that
Yep.
like everything in life exists in a gray area. You want to find the balance that works for you. There's no shortcut.
Yep.
And if there is a shortcut, it's probably like at a detriment to you in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta like, yeah. I think life has to be a bit more playful.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta like take some risks that are, you know, risks that you can recover from, not like crazy financial risks,
Yes.
but like, you know, creative risks, and just like believing in yourself. But that belief in yourself only comes from doing the things.
Mm-hmm.
So do the things,
Yes.
believe in yourself, and send it.
Very good.
Like that's the full circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're a living example of this.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope I like keep on that path, but
I hope so too.
also in the gray area, slow down a little bit.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm having some workshops
Yes.
coming up for underwater photography.
What have
so-
you got? Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Tell
I
me,
do.
Tell me.
So I'm gonna announce it, I think, in like a few days, but
Cool.
I don't really care.
Yep.
I'm gonna start doing these small group online live underwater photography editing workshops.
Awesome.
Because like I feel like right now a lot of people, like we were talking about earlier
Mm-hmm.
again, like they create like kind of like this big master course and put a ton of amazing information into it and then just like blast send it out.
Mm-hmm.
But like I really know that that's not how I learn best, especially with like something like
Mm-hmm.
underwater photography. And so these are going to be small group, like 10 people max,
Mm-hmm.
online lessons where it's like an hour and a half with me. And it's kind of like a little community, like us
Awesome.
10 people, like it's like two-way conversations. You can
Yep.
stop me and ask me questions. I'm going to give them my photos
That's
that
so
they can
good.
edit so we can do it at the same time to get to the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the issue with all the things that I was finding online. It was
Yeah.
like, but how did they get there. Like,
Yes.
I wanted to stop and ask them questions like, why are you changing it for this picture so that I know how to do that for my picture?
Yes.
I want to show them exactly how it's done on my photos so that they can like replicate those,
Very good.
ask questions, chat with their friends. Because, yeah, it's like creative spaces. I don't know how your experience, but it feels like kind of siloed. Like
Yeah.
you feel like you're supposed to like grind and make it on your own.
Yep, there's a lot of that.
And like prove it, and then it's kind of competitive. Like when
is.
you're in a space, like you want to like show off what you've done.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to bring the community aspect to it
Very
because
good.
it's diving. It's
Yes.
like you're swimming in the freaking ocean. Like there should be nothing competitive about that. And so yeah, I'm gonna do a little pilot one February 1st,
Love
and
it.
then if it goes well, I'll do a bunch more.
Yep.
But yeah,
And-
live, not pre-recorded.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Which is so much better because people get to ask their own questions. I think that's the biggest
True.
difference when it comes to that.
And motivate people to actually show up and like take it seriously because it's like you're paying for this time.
Yes.
Like that's it.
Yep.
Like you can't like rewatch this later if you're like multitasking on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know?
Be present.
That's it.
Attention.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I love that. Do you have anything else coming up?
I do actually. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the Finstitute, which is
Oh, yeah,
like my
that was the
other
other
thing.
thing. Yes.
It's
You have so
funny.
much going on. I told you at the start. I said it. There's too much here.
There's a lot.
Yep.
There's a lot. But the Finstitute's really taken off this year. The Finstitute's my shark conservation organization that my friend Luca and I run together.
Yep.
It started as a club at our master's program up north in Townsville.
Yes.
And now we've turned into an international nonprofit, and we're about to
Damn,
start running
dude.
some shark research expeditions.
Wow.
So, and again, like, remember that message that you said earlier in the day, like, that one of my missions is just to, like, make people be connected to
Yes.
ocean science without having to be researchers.
Yep.
These are kind of, like, living proof of that. So it's going to be cool expeditions all over the world to different places. Our first one's actually in the Maldives
Oh.
to do tiger shark stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. But, yeah, actually, like, anybody can join. You don't have to be a researcher, you don't have to be a scientist, you don't even have to be a student. You
Wow.
could just join these trips and like learn about the research and science techniques that are going on behind the scenes to study some of these shark species
Yes.
and ray species.
Dude,
Yeah, there's some stuff.
that's so cool.
There's some stuff. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one's
yeah.
that one's sold out, but we're having like 3 other locations drop soon for the rest of this year. One of them's in Australia if you want to come.
Yes. It's so cool. Everything. Like your whole, I feel like I've been introduced to this whole world that I
Oh, yes.
knew nothing about.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's really cool.
You're going to go get your freediving cert, right?
Hey?
You're going to go get your freediving certification,
I
right?
guess I have to.
You have
now,
to,
right?
yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, I know where you work.
I'll find you. Yeah, this is everything you do, everything you've been talking about, super inspirational. I love this.
Thanks.
Yeah, and
Yeah, back at you. Like,
I'm trying. Well, I thought I was doing all right, man.
killing it.
I
You're
was
killing
like,
it.
man, I'm doing heaps.
You
Even before, I was
are.
like, man,
Oh,
I'm doing
please.
so much, and then I'm listening to you, and I'm like, damn. And you're actually like enthusiastic, like you're passionate about it. Like the energy comes out of you just by talking about it, and that's when you know like it's real.
This is the first time that I've spoken about sharks and not blacked out. You can ask anybody
Oh,
around
dude.
me.
Yeah, so cool, so cool. Thank you for making the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, like,
like-
I feel like this was like the creative therapy session I needed.
Yeah, oh,
To, like
good.
hearing all of the things you're working on and like where you
Yeah.
came from and into
We
this,
all go
so.
through similar things, even though like completely different worlds.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Like people can talk about things, and I'm like, man, I felt that exact same way, even though I was doing something like completely different in my creative world.
Totally.
Yeah, which I think that like that's what's good about the pod. Like hopefully other people in like a completely other world, and they're like, oh wow, that's really cool how she dealt with that in underwater photography, and they can apply it to what they're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely like synergistic.
Weird,
in some
right?
way
It's weird,
Yeah.
but it's cool. It's so. I've had people come on, and they're like, man, it was so cool to just like talk to someone who gets it.
Yes,
Even though, like, it's-
literally,
yeah.
literally that. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time, and I'm like really excited to see what you have coming up.
Thanks so much. You.